Follow the money, and you'll find the crime.
Day 24 of the shutdown, and we just uncovered the real reason Democrats won't let America reopen. It's not about policy. It's not about principles. It's about cold, hard cash flowing from corporate giants straight into Democrats' pockets. A D.C. insider just blew the whistle on a scheme so corrupt, so brazen, even liberal media can't ignore it anymore. Chuck Schumer has been caught red-handed orchestrating the suffering of millions of Americans, and he's getting paid to do it. 24 days of missed paychecks, frozen services, families in crisis, all by design. The evidence is explosive, the betrayal is real, and what you're about to see will change everything you thought you knew about this shutdown. So stay with me. And while Chuck Schumer's cashing dark money checks and keeping America shut down for 24 days, real patriots are taking control of their lives. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? Well, I recently saw a video that he made. I was shocked. He's in his 80s, still kicking butt and working out and staying active. Like these corrupt politicians destroying themselves with greed, Chuck is stronger, he can work out longer, and still has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. He did this by making one simple change. He says he feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing it. She has never felt better. She feels 10 years younger, looks leaner, has energy all day long. Well, Democrats sell out America. Chuck made a special video, explains everything. Make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/next or by clicking the link below. It'll change the way you think about your health. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/next. Click the link below. Watch the video. You won't believe just how simple that it is. So this is shocking news. Wall Street apes posting this. D.C. lobbyists exposing the real reason Democrats are keeping the government shut down is because they're being paid off with dark money from billion-dollar health insurance companies. Yeah. Also, even while the federal government is shut down, the big health insurance companies are getting funneled our tax money. Watch this.
All right, everyone. So I'm heading to Capitol Hill. Just got off the metro. Okay. So they are voting on the Shutdown Fairness Act today, but I figured something out. Okay, I think I understand why this shutdown is happening, because I've been scratching my head like, why would the Democrats be shutting down the government, depriving federal workers in the military of basically pay and food, and then depriving the military of their health care through TRICARE? I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would you be so hell-bent on this? And I don't think it has anything to do with the talking points that, oh, it's the far left radicals. No, it has nothing to do with that. That they're against Trump. No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fucking insurance companies. So I found out these people, even though the government shut down, because of the ACA, their payments every month are coming directly from the Treasury to their bank accounts. So the insurance companies, UnitedHealthcare, Aetna, Molina, Kaiser, they are getting paid right now, mandatory pay every single month, while the federal workers and the military get nothing. And so now it's finally making sense. This has nothing to do with healthcare. It has to do with dark money from the billion-dollar insurance companies. Because keep in mind, if they lose the ACA credits for next year, they're not going to get any of that money. They won't get any of that money. So even though the tax credits are tax credits, what actually happens is these tax credits get paid on behalf of you, the insured, and they go directly to the insurance companies. So that's why the Democrats are fighting so hard on this. It has nothing to do with people's premiums. It has to do with the fucking insurance companies not getting billions and billions and billions of dollars in January and next year. So what finally occurred to me this morning, and that's what took me so long, I had to do research to figure out how those tax credits were paid. But this shutdown, it's about them. It's about the billion-dollar insurance companies. And so everyone in at least the talking points of the Democrats are like, oh, the premiums are going to go up. Why don't you hold the insurance companies accountable? These are not market rates. They're setting the premiums. They're the ones that are deciding to keep human beings without health care. That has nothing to do with what the government does. If anything, the government's making worse. The problem is the insurance companies. They're setting the premiums, they're setting the rates, and then their providers are setting, that they fucking own the hospitals, and the providers are setting these obscene rates for procedures. And so then they're making money off of the hospitals. This entire shutdown has nothing to do with healthcare and everything to do with the billion-dollar corporations, UnitedHealthcare, Aetna, Kaiser, Molina. They are the ones that are keeping the government shut down right now. And this is how dangerous it is to have dark money from corporations like them involved with our politicians. And this is why the entire government is shut down right now. And I finally figured it out, because I just couldn't get it. Why would the Democrats do this unless the insurance companies are threatening to not fund their re-election next year? And there it is. This is all about health insurance companies and not about people trying to access health care. Because if you were trying to get people to access health care and you wanted to make it cheaper, then you force the insurance companies to quit raising their premiums, and you put a cap on what those premiums are every year. All right, everyone.
I hate insurance companies with a passion, and this makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense that the insurance companies are going to end up not getting the billions of dollars from the government, from the piggy bank. So they're threatening to not fund elections because they pay out huge amounts of money to their puppets in D.C. Cheerleader for change. God bless you. God bless you for breaking that down. This is huge. Over in New York, the pain is being felt. Democrats, Elise Stefanik writes, New York Democrats are hurting New York families with their painful Schumer shutdown that's being cheered on by the worst governor in America, Kathy Hochul. Unlike Senator Schumer, who's voted 12 times to shut down the government and cut home heating funding, she has voted consistently to keep the government open and support this important home heating program for New Yorkers. Do your job, Chuck, she writes.
Aid. The government shut down the New York Temporary and Disability Assistants say that they had to push on
to make these people suffer. Here we have this. Democrats hate America. They hate us. This is Josh Hawley on Real America's Voice.
Agenda, but that's where you go to the VA right now. If you're a veteran, you're going to find all kinds of stuff shut down. Why? Because the Democrats would rather give money to illegals than pay our veterans who bled for this country. And that's it in a nutshell. And that's their position. So I hope sooner or later they'll come to their senses and they'll realize, you know what? This is the wrong thing. It's the wrong thing to tell American citizens who paid their taxes, who have served this nation, that we're just going to screw you in order to pursue some far left-wing agenda. But that's where they are right now. You go to the
Day 24 continues. Liberal media is turning on Hakeem Jeffries, though, calling him out on his BS. Let's see this.
What you are asking in roll call recently that was pretty interesting on this. It said what you are asking the Republicans to do right now when they control the White House, the Senate, and the House is effectively what the Democrats could not do when they controlled all three of those heads of government themselves. The 10-year setup for this, for these, or the 3-year setup for the expiration of these credits was intentionally put in. It was put in when you controlled the White House, the House, and the Senate. You couldn't get it passed for longer. And so this is a setup that kind of your own creation that you all couldn't extend beyond that. Now you want the Republicans to do something you didn't do when you were in power?
It's not a setup beyond what we could do. We extended the Affordable Care Act tax credits in 2022 for 3 years. The program is working. It's providing health care to tens of millions of people in an affordable way, and it should be continued. It's interesting to us that Republicans decided that they would prefer to permanently extend massive tax breaks for their billionaire donors in their one big ugly bill, which also at the same time dramatically increased the debt and enacted the largest cut to Medicaid in American history, but refused to consider extending Affordable Care Act tax credits that actually benefit working class Americans, everyday Americans, and middle class Americans. Their priorities are misplaced.
Okay, your lips are moving. That only means one thing. Anna Kelly, 47, talking about Chuck Schumer, failed leadership, in contrast to President Trump.
Our leverage. Well, Chuck Schumer also said, remember, it gets better every day for him. Of course, you had a top House Democrat yesterday talking about how struggling American families are leveraged. All of this, again, to try and get health care for millions of illegal immigrants who illegally entered our country. I think it presents a stark contrast, the fact that you have failed leaders like Chuck Schumer and others continuing to fight and keep the government closed for these illegal immigrants, while the president, in contrast, is making good deals for our country, trying to stop the influx of fentanyl and other drugs, which is exactly what he promised to do. And Chuck Schumer, if he wanted to, could open the government today and make sure that struggling families don't have to suffer anymore.
But that's, of course, then they lose their leverage, right? James Blair, 47, says this to Democrats.
Open the government and we have said very clearly, we will talk about health care. We will work on anything you want. Open the government and let's get to work. We called Chuck Schumer and said the president would like to have the whole Senate, Democrats included, over to the White House as soon as you open the government. We await that.
They called Schumer and said that.
Yes, our staff did at the president's direction. He'd like to have them all to the Rose Garden Club right after he left. He wants to talk to the Democrats, but we are not going to hold the American people hostage to have a policy dispute. We're not going to let them turn this into a circus. It's ridiculous. It's very simple. Do the right thing. Open the government. Do what you have done 13 times under Joe Biden. Do what you have called on Republicans to do the whole time you've ever been in Congress, right? Schumer has always said you can play clip after clip after clip after clip. You don't shut down the government to have a debate about policy. He said that for many years, but now magically it's changed. You know why? Because they're kowtowing to their left-wing voters. It's very simple. He's afraid of AOC. He's tired of getting beaten up online by activists. We know this, right? What did the whip say again yesterday? Yes, well, people are going to get hurt. This is the Democratic whip. Yes. People are going to get hurt. But that gives us leverage. Well, we don't think people are leveraged. What did another Democrat staffer say? Short of planes falling out of the sky. Well, guess what? They're risking that because air traffic control is about to not get paid, right? Yeah. We are running out of money. They're actually risking planes falling out of the sky. We have said very clearly, we will talk about.
But who are they really afraid of? Sounds like the insurance companies and that dark money. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is what treason looks like on day 24. Chuck Schumer didn't just shut down the government, he sold it to the highest bidder. For 24 straight days, families freezing without heating assistance, workers missing paychecks, America suffering, and Schumer's been cashing checks from billion-dollar insurance companies the whole time. They're literally profiting off your pain. And the most disgusting part, they call it compassion. They claim they're fighting for the people while taking bribes to keep the government closed. Every liberal media, even liberal media, calling out the scam. When CNN turns on Democrats, you know the jig is up. So here's my question. Should Chuck Schumer be investigated for taking dark money bribes during the shutdown? Yes or no? Drop your answer in the comments. And while you're fired up, check out our merch shop. It's linked down below because we are still open.